I want to do a time travel thought experiment right now. Good day, everyone. Um, I wrote the book Timeshare, and it looks at time travel, and I created rules to go by because you can't be a free for all. But I want to do a thought experiment with you guys. Listen, we've all heard it before. You get in your time machine, you go back and kill your grandfather, and what happens to you? Well, I don't know. Nobody knows because we've never done it. But so, what do you think about that? But let's put a little bit more depth to it here. World War II was the war that killed the most people in the world for one event. Now, one event, World War II, but it was the Pacific and the Atlantic. They were two separate conflicts. And if you divide them in half, then you end up with around 45 million each killed. And and there's another, and I can't remember what it was, but there's another one out there that's almost as big. But I can't remember. I'll have to look that up and type it in here. But anyways, so you go down in your. So here's the thought experiment. You get down in your basement, you jump in your time machine, you go back to just after World War One, and you find Hitler, and you kill him. He almost got killed. Somebody, a German soldier in World War One, pointed a gun at him and decided to let him walk. How they know that, I don't know, but they know that. So, anyways, yeah, that was responsible for somewhere around 45 million deaths. And of course, we know the 6 million Holocaust victims. So if you go back, you kill him. Now, what happens? Well, first off, you get back in your time machine right away so that you don't have to face the authorities, and you leave. Now, did you hang around long enough to make sure he was dead? So you get back in your time machine and you go back to your basement, and everything's good until you get out of your time machine. That's my theory. When you're in the time machine, you're in that envelope. You're protected. You're in that time period. But as soon as you get out, you and everything else could just disappear. Because 46 million people now in the system of living and interacting and breeding. Let's be honest, that's what it's all about, is breeding. I consider myself, I'm 72 years old, and in the baby boom generation, I consider myself the first generation outside of World War II. My dad was 19. He didn't go in because of a medical condition. He wouldn't have cared. He had club foot. He could hardly walk, but he would have gone. He probably wouldn't have fussed any more than anybody else, and he'd have been fine. But no, they wouldn't want him, which is, I understand it. Because in the Army, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're a cook, they're going to put you, they've trained you how to use a rifle, and there could come a time when they go and grab you and say, hey, get out here with this rifle. So they want you to be able. And so I consider myself a first generation. So it's hard to say if I would have been affected if somebody went back and killed Hitler, but it's entirely possible. There could have easily been more competition for my mother. There could have been half a dozen guys going after her. She may or may not have picked the same guy. With everything being different, they may not have got together at the same time. Timing in human evolution or human whatever, birth, is critical. That egg has, 3 days to become implanted. Your little swimmers, they got about a second or two to do what they did. I mean, they're competing against thousands or millions, and the first one, and that's it. Now, if it doesn't happen at the same time, it ain't going to be that same sperm. And each one of them sperms is a little bit different. And each one of them eggs is a little bit different. So if you don't catch it there, if for whatever reason they get married a year later or whatever, guess what? You ain't going to be there. Everything could easily be different. I can see my mother and father. He grew up on a farm, took it over, lived it. So maybe my grandma and the grandfather would be there, definitely. My father would be there. And so then, it's possible that he still would have taken over the farm, gotten married, had a wife and family. I mean, that's what you did back then. But, and it's highly likely that it ended up the same way, but not guaranteed. But just imagine that the number of people that are created from one person coming over in the 1600s, and I wish I remembered that number, but I don't. It is high. I have some people that, cousins out there that I don't even know about, and, there are a lot of them just because one person came over here. So, yeah, you wouldn't, things would change. Things would change, unbelievably. Presidents, the last few presidents might not be the same. We elected presidents because they fought in the war. They might not have gotten elected. They had nothing to draw on. And what if fate is involved in this? And you go in there and you kill Hitler, bang, 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 3 shots, and you leave. And he doesn't die. Or you go to kill him and a big burly policeman jumps on you before you even get a shot out. Now, is that fate or coincidence or what? But if that's the case, then everything pretty much will stay status quo. Think about that. And if you do watch this video, put an answer down in the comments. I'd love to get something going here. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day and the rest of their week, and I'll catch back up with you in a little bit.